Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun Benzion. We're analyzing today the Gemara, Kesubos Daf Nun, number 50. The Gemara has a famous halakha over here on the top of number Aleph. Hamavazvez Amr Elai B'Ushay Eskinu Hamavazvez Ali Vazvez Yoser Mechomish. Yeah, it sounds like it's Takana D'Rabban. I mean, the right you could give away more than your money. They're Masakin, you shouldn't give away more than 1/5 of your wealth. Right? And the Bryce says, which basically what Rashi says also. I don't know why Rashi says it also. The Bryce says, he shouldn't need, that's what everyone explains, he shouldn't come to need the brios. Now let's say you have, right, you're learning in Kolel, right? Your wife is doing a gan in the house. She's doing nursery in the house. Your combined income is 7,000 shekel a month, about $2,000 a month. So your earning potential between you and your wife is $24,000 a year. That's what you're earning between you and your wife, $24,000 a year. So Chazal said, you know what? 1/5 of that, about close to $5,000, a little less than $5,000. Don't give $5,000. It's more than a chomish, more than 20%. Why? Because then you're left with less than $19,000. $19,000 not going to have to pay the bills. If you had $24,000, you could pay the bills, of course, and you could eat steak every night. But if you have $19,000, you're in trouble. Now, you're right. I mean, that case also doesn't, even if you gave a little bit of money, you'd also be Mitzarech L'Brios. Even if you didn't give any stuff, you're Mitzarech L'Brios. You're going to have to go into debt and you're going to have to earn money. But let's say a regular, middle class family in America, the husband and wife have decent jobs. Just the husband has a decent job. The wife is a stay-at-home mom. Their combined income $100,000 a year. They're paying tuition, whatever. I can understand that, right? You give 20% of your income to Tzedaka, your bank account to Tzedaka, you might become poor, and you might have to go when you sign your kids up for school and beg for tuition assistance because you're not gonna be able to pay it. But what about the uber wealthy people on Forbes 500 list, or even not the Forbes 500 list, 400 list, the millionaires, the multi-millionaires, Rechnitz. You think Rechnitz, if he gives away 20% of his wealth, is going to become poor? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to become poor. I don't know if he's given away more than 1/5 because the Chavetz Chaim says that you can give up to 1/2 of your wealth for Talmud Torah, like we see by Yisachar and Zvulun. That's proof to that, Yisachar and Zvulun. And Zvulun give up half of their wealth. There's also other poskim that say when you're about to die, you can give away up to half or a third. It doesn't make sense in all the cases. In some cases, you're right. Giving a 1/10. Now, first of all, most Rishonim and poskim assume we're talking about here Meiser Ksofim, right? There's a concept. It's prevalent in Klal Yisrael. Meiser money. Where's your Meiser money going? Where's your Meiser money going? Now, Meiser money means whatever I earn, I have to give Meiser to Aniyim. The source for this Gemara is Yaakov says if Hashem helps him, I'll give him 1/10 of his earnings. I'll give it Tzedaka. I'll give it to Hashem as a korban, whatever it meant. It's not clear. Not all the Rishonim hold the Meiser itself. They give Meiser itself. I would say we're just talking about giving a tip when you go out to a restaurant. In America, the tip rate is, I think, maybe it's 15%. 15% of the total bill. Here it's 10%. In Israel, it's 10%. 10% is the normal tip that you give. If you want to give a big tip, don't give more than 20%. I think it's talking about really rich people also. It's not talking about the average person. That's obvious. I don't believe that. The right says there's a chiyuv Meiser Ksofim. The Gemara doesn't say there's a chiyuv Meiser Ksofim anywhere. Based on this Gemara, it's weak to say it's talking about someone who's spoiled. He's a spoiled person. He's just throwing around money. I like to go to restaurants, give a huge tip. I do like to do that if it's a really good waiter and I had a good waitress and I had a good experience. I like to show off my money, even though I have no money. I like to show it off. People like to show off their money. He's showing off his money. When are you showing off your money? Not when all the money you earn. You're showing off your money when you're giving a tip, you're giving tzedakah, philanthropy. We're talking about really rich people over there. So who cares? Give them 20%. Not going to come poor. So I think of the word Shema Yitzarach. The Gemara says Shema Yitzarach Labrios. It doesn't say Shema Yatzrich Labrios. That he'll need the brios. Shema Yitzarach Labrios. Exactly the opposite. Is that if you give away, if you're the type of person that's known, right? Shmuel Witta will tell you, he's very familiar with all the drivers in America when he goes collecting over there. If you listen to my interview with Shmuel Witta, be sure to check that out and find out what really goes on when Rosh Kollel and Rosh Yeshiva come to collect in America, how they get their money, how they locate the Gvirim, the really rich people, how they find their license plates. It's all documented. It's all recorded in the second interview I did with Shmuel Witta. Check it out, Jewish Money. So basically, which is rich people, don't give away more than 20%, because you know what? They're gonna know about you. You're one of those really rich guys, and you're really generous, too generous. You are not gonna have a life, and I'm sure a lot of people that have this problem. People are running after them. How they find out about them? They make a lot of money in stock market, real estate, big business or startup. Swimply, they make a lot of money. People are gonna be running after this guy, Bunam Lasky. They're gonna be running after him, Oshie Weinberg. They're gonna be running after these guys. So. You want to have a life. You want to have a normal family life. Shema Yitzarach Labrios is that people are going to run after you. If they see you're so generous, they can see the guy's a miser. He only gives 10%. All right, so whatever. The guy, we call him up 5 times, he doesn't pick up. All right, his secretary says he doesn't know where he is. Right, it's 12 o'clock at night. He doesn't know where he is. Which bedroom he's in, which wing of the house he's in. We don't know where he is. Okay, he only gives 10%. It's not such a big thing. Or he only gives a check for $100. Not a big thing. But if you're not a really ultra generous guy, an ultra rich guy, they're gonna run after these people. They will not let you. When you pull into your driveway and come home from work, there will be 6 people waiting in your driveway because they know exactly what time you leave work and exactly what time you arrive at your front door. They will be there for you, waiting, and nagging you and calling you, and never letting your life be normal again. And that's the advice the Gemara is giving you. Don't be so generous with the money, because Yitzdarech LaBrios, Brios will run after you. Not that you'll need the Brios, they'll become poor and they'll need you. Shema Yitzdarech, you'll be someone that is so needed by the public, they'll be running after you to fund every yeshiva and every kollel in the world, right? This advice is given to someone like Rechnes. I don't know how much more percentage of money he gives from his wealth, but I'm sure it's very difficult fielding all those calls and all the attention that he gets from other people just walking in the street. You can't walk in the street without someone petitioning you for their kollel or their yeshiva or their tzedaka fund. So it's advice to people: don't be so generous, because people will run after you. You will be in starach labrios. You will be someone that the brios need. They think they need, and you're the cure-all. Panacea, I think that's your name. Say it. The cure-all for all their problems. Don't do that. It's good advice that the Gemara is giving you. That's what the Gemara is talking about. There's no chiyuv, meiser, safim. That's what I have to say. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.